Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a great week and you're looking forward to the weekend. We have another round of great deals, budget-friendly deals for your Nintendo Switch. If you enjoy the video, please drop a like before you head out. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in, baby. NeverSong is a narrative-driven puzzle platformer that follows the journey of a young boy named Pete, who awakens from a coma to find his girlfriend Ren is missing. The game delves into themes of loss and self-discovery, presenting a hauntingly beautiful world filled with intriguing characters and atmospheric environments. Gameplay involves exploring various levels, solving puzzles, and of course taking out enemies in combat. The hand-drawn visuals look great, and it's not an overly difficult game, but some of the boss fights are a little bit tough. You should get about 3 to 4 hours of gameplay. It runs well here on the console, and right now it's just $2.99. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair is a 2.5D platformer that serves as a follow-up to the original game. Once again, we control the chameleon bat duo as we traverse a series of challenging levels to thwart evil capital B's plans. The game features a mix of traditional platforming stages and an expansive overworld filled with secrets and puzzles. The unique aspect to the game is the titular Impossible Lair, which is a challenging final level that you can actually access from the start of the game, but it will make it much easier if you go through the game and rescue some of the Royal Battalion they're called. They sort of act as a shield for when you go back to the Impossible Lair later. The controls feel great and it runs amazingly well here on the console. It's one of my all-time favorite games in the genre, and right now it's at an all-time low, just $2.99. Cars 3 Driven to Win is an arcade-style racing game inspired by the Disney Pixar franchise. Players get to choose from a roster of over 20 characters, including Lightning McQueen, each with their own unique abilities. The game offers various modes, including standard races, battle races with weapons, and a stunt showcase where you can perform tricks to earn points. It's a fun game and great for young kids, but it really doesn't do much to change the formula or innovate anything. The performance is stable, and right now you can pick it up for just $3.99. KarmaZoo is a cooperative platformer emphasizing teamwork. Up to 10 players collaborate online, each selecting from 50 unique characters with distinct abilities to navigate procedurally generated levels. The game rewards you with karma for assisting others, fostering a sense of community while you play. It runs well here on the console, and this is definitely one of those games that is a lot more fun if you have a group of people that you know to play with versus playing with randos. If you're interested, check this one out. It's marked down to an all-time low at just $3.99. The Lion's Song is a narrative-driven point-and-click adventure game set in early 20th century Austria, focusing on themes of creativity and human connection. The game is divided into 4 episodes, each following a different character. All of them are grappling with personal and professional challenges. Its distinctive art style and emotional soundtrack enhance the immersive storytelling, and the choices that you make throughout the episodes will influence the narrative direction, encouraging multiple playthroughs to explore various outcomes. If you enjoy the genre, definitely check it out. It's just $4.99. Collapsed is a roguelike action platformer set in a post-apocalyptic world where players choose from 4 unique hunters, each with different abilities, to battle through procedurally generated levels. The combat is fast-paced, mixing melee and ranged attacks with RPG-style upgrades and crafting. The game's deep progression system encourages replayability, though its flash-like visuals and repetitive enemy design may not appeal to everyone. The performance is pretty stable with occasional frame rate dips in the really heavy fights, but overall it's pretty solid, and right now you can pick it up for just $2.25. Up next we have DROS, which is a 3D puzzle platformer with a dual character mechanic, following an unlikely partnership between a small slimy creature and a human bounty hunter. Now while you play, you can switch between the two to navigate the levels, solve environmental puzzles, and of course battle enemies in this steampunk-inspired world. The game's hand-drawn art style and quirky storytelling again add to the charm. It runs great here on the console and offers more than 6 hours of gameplay. Right now it's just $2.99, again an all-time low. PRONTY is an underwater Metroidvania that follows the journey of PRONTY and their robotic companion Bront as they defend the city from mutated sea creatures. The game features a unique combat system where you utilize Bront as the weapon, aiming and attacking enemies in a standard twin-stick shooter fashion. Now, exploration is vital to the experience, with a giant map filled with secrets and upgrades and challenging bosses. The hand-drawn art and environmental storytelling create an immersive underwater world. The performance is overall really good here on the Switch, and you should get around 10 hours of gameplay before you wrap up. Right now it's back down at an all-time low, just $4.49. Up next we have Gleylancer, which is a classic 1992 side-scrolling shoot-'em-up that's been faithfully ported to the Nintendo Switch with modern quality of life improvements, including rewind, save states, and customizable controls. Now, the game stands out for the weapon system, of course, which allows players to control the direction of their secondary fire, which then adds a layer of strategy to all of the crazy action going on. It runs great here on the Switch, offering an authentic experience without compromise, and with difficulty options and a campaign that lasts around an hour, it's accessible and a must-play for any fan of retro shoot-'em-ups. Right now you can pick it up at an all-time low, just $3.49. Next up is Gordian Quest, which is a deck-building roguelike RPG that combines elements of classic role-playing games with strategic, card-based combat. Players assemble a party of heroes, each possessing unique abilities and customizable decks, to then embark on a quest to save the land of Rendia from a looming evil. Now, the game offers both a comprehensive campaign mode and a roguelike realm mode, providing varied gameplay experiences and replay value. Combat is turn-based, requiring players to strategically utilize their cards and character positions on a grid-based battlefield. The game features a vast array of cards and equipment, allowing for deep customization and again replayability. However, the Switch version does have a bit of a cumbersome menu situation, and the text can be kind of tiny, especially in handheld mode. However, if you don't mind those things, it's a great value at just $1.99. Lost Words Beyond the Page is a narrative-driven puzzle platformer that intertwines the personal diary of a young girl named Izzy with a fantasy adventure that she is creating. Players navigate through Izzy's journal using words as platforms or tools to solve puzzles, while also exploring the imaginative world of Historia, where words wield immense power. The game offers an emotional journey, delving into themes of loss and personal growth, with gameplay lasting approximately 3 to 4 hours. Now, while the puzzles are relatively straightforward, the storytelling and artistic presentation are both outstanding. Right now it's just $1.99. It's another hidden gem that you can pick up this week. The Serpent Rogue is an action-adventure game where players assume the role of the Warden, a plague doctor tasked with combating a malevolent force known as the Corruption. The game emphasizes exploration, alchemy, and crafting, requiring players to gather ingredients, concoct potions, and then utilize them to overcome various challenges. The combat involves real-time action, where players have to strategically employ their crafted items and abilities. Now, the game is pretty difficult, so you'll want to keep that in mind. The performance is pretty good overall here on the console, and right now it's just $1.99. They Bleed Pixels is a challenging 2D action platformer that combines precise platforming with beat-em-up combat mechanics. Players control a young girl haunted by Lovecraftian nightmares, navigating through treacherous levels filled with deadly traps and hostile enemies. The game employs a unique one-button combat system, requiring you to differentiate between taps and holds to execute various attacks. The control scheme demands precision and timing, contributing to the game's well-known high level of difficulty. Now, the pixel art style is complemented by the dark, atmospheric aesthetic, enhancing the overall experience. If you're up for a challenge, right now you can pick it up for just $1.99. Kao the Kangaroo is a 3D platformer that revives the early 2000s mascot-driven genre. Players control Kao, a boxing kangaroo, on a quest to uncover the truth behind his father's disappearance. Now, the game features vibrant environments, collectible items, and combat sequences against various different enemies. And while it captures the nostalgic feel of classic platformers, There were definitely some issues at launch, both with performance and overall gameplay. Now a lot of that has been patched up though, and there is a secret sale going on right now. If you head over to the eShop and pick up Coloring Book free, we talked about this in the past, but if you haven't done it, pick up Coloring Book free. It'll drop the price for this one all the way down to just $190. Otherwise, you can pick it up for $449 at regular sale price, but honestly, there's no reason not to take advantage of the little workaround that you can do and save a few bucks. Alright everyone, and now for this week's new game spotlight. The wonderful folks over at Xbox gave me a key for the upcoming game called Avowed, and it's the newest open world RPG from Obsidian Entertainment. The game launches on the 18th, but if you pre-ordered it, they did give us 5-day early access to go ahead and get started our first adventure. Now after about 5 to 6 hours, I can definitely say that the game has been incredible so far. It feels a lot like Skyrim, but they just took a bunch of buckets of neon paint and just started spreading it everywhere, onto the animals, onto the plants, on everything. Right off the break, you have a pretty robust character creation system, and then you're thrown into the story right away. You set off on a quick tutorial, and then once you get to the first major city, the game opens up and you have the freedom to continue working on the main quest, or you can go exploring and doing side quests. Now I think the voice acting has been pretty solid overall, and there are a ton of NPCs that you can talk to. Another highlight for me has been the combat, which again feels a lot like a more polished version of the combat that you would find in games like Skyrim. In fact, if you played games like that, even the control scheme feels familiar. Now the game does have a few issues for sure. I had to reload a save once as enemies were not spawning in that I needed to kill in order to progress through that section of the story, so there was really nothing I could do but restart. And there are a few weird graphical bugs here and there, but most of it feels familiar, stuff that I remember seeing all the way back to games like Oblivion. So I guess I'm just kind of used to it, and it is surprising that they still haven't kind of worked some of that stuff out, but it didn't really hurt the overall experience at all. Again, I want to thank Keymailer and Xbox for hooking me up with an early access code so that I could share it with you all here on the channel. And thank you guys that come through week after week. Honestly, you're the reason that I sometimes am able to get a big game like this early. So thank you big time. Alright, and now back to the deals. Alright everyone, here are some other deals to check out while you're already on the eShop.
must go on.
Where's Chris?
Alright everyone, that wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoy gaming content like this, make sure to leave a like down below and drop a comment. Let me know if there's any games that you'll pick up. Oh, and also, if you're new here, subscribe and become part of the crew. Much love everyone. Catch you on the next one.